This is Nightline.
Tonight, explosive testimony from Sean Diddy Combs' former personal assistant, alleging the mogul once kidnapped her at gunpoint, which he denies.
She broke down sobbing several times.
And the rapper she says Combs wanted to kill. Plus, instant abs, men going from dad bod to beach bod just in time for summer by taking a six-pack shortcut.
When pool season rolls around, you're just kind of ready to go, even though you're living life like a normal person.
Can you really say goodbye to sit-ups?
Why would you look basic when you can look amazing?
Can you tell who got shredded the old-fashioned way and who went under the knife? And the return of JoJo, the singer known for her record-setting smash, Leave, Get Out. Now back with Too Much to Say. What she says stalled her career for years.
It felt like I was just hitting my head against the wall constantly.
Plus,
the president called me personally.
The Chrisley stunning reversal of fortune. We spoke to daughter Savannah after her Instagram announcement just hours ago.
From ABC News headquarters in New York, this is Nightline.
Thanks for joining us. Tonight, explosive testimony in the Sean Diddy Combs trial from someone who was in his inner circle for more than a decade. His former personal assistant, who said her one-time boss was violent, threatening, and made her fear for her life, which he denies. She was Sean Combs' assistant for years, Capricorn Clark. But today she testified he once kidnapped her at gunpoint, saying he was on his way to kill a romantic rival, rapper Kid Cudi. She said the hip-hop mogul had just found out his on and off girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, had begun dating the rapper, whose name is Scott Muschetti. In late 2011, when Clark testified, she woke to banging at her door and saw a very upset Puff with a gun in his hand. Get dressed. We're going to kill Kid Cudi, Clark recalls Combs telling her, but the rapper wasn't home at the time. Muschetti testified last week about an alleged 2012 incident where his Porsche 911 convertible had been set on fire. It looks like the top of my Porsche was cut open, and that's where they inserted the Molotov cocktail, Muschetti testified. Prosecutors are trying to prove Combs used kidnapping as part of a criminal enterprise, an allegation he has denied. Clark telling the jury Combs held her until Ventura agreed to see him. He told me to tell Cassie that he has me and he's not going to let me go.
Capricorn Clark was probably the most emotional witness of the 17 witnesses that we have seen so far for the prosecution. She broke down sobbing several times, recalling her employment with Sean Combs.
Another time, Clark testified one of Combs' bodyguards, known as Uncle Polly, brought her to a dilapidated space at Bad Boy Entertainment, where a very wide, very heavy, chain-smoking man subjected her to 5 days of lie detector tests after Combs suspected her of stealing jewelry he wore at one of his famous white parties in the Hamptons.
Capricorn Clark's testimony certainly seemed to impact Sean Combs. He's always been an active defendant, scribbling notes, but when she was testifying, he would often turn to his lawyer, whisper in his ear, and then defense attorney Mark Agnifilo would jump up to object.
Tomorrow, prosecutors will focus on the charge of forced labor, calling a former employee who they allege was forced to perform sex acts with Combs. Combs denies all the charges. We turn now to an idea that sounds too good to be true. Men saying they've traded their dad bods for a beach bod, taking a shortcut to get sculpted. But just because these transformations don't require working out doesn't mean they're easy or cheap. Here's Nightline's Ashin Singh.
A six-pack for the summer? Overnight abs, instant bulk, and a cut physique. Some men are trying to get shredded quick.
I don't think there should be any stigma to self-improvement.
I have high expectations for myself. Why would you look basic when you can look amazing?
In the past, abs like that might take cutting carbs out year-round and never leaving the gym. But these guys, and many others, are using plastic surgery as their secret weapon.
There's no idea that a woman needs to have something wrong with her in order to do it. Well, is there any reason that that should be different for men?
Some people call it just abdominal etching, some people call it abdominal sculpting, some people call it 3D liposuction. There are a lot of different names for it, but the most important thing is you need to go to a doctor that does a lot of this, a doctor that's a member of the Aesthetic Society.
Fat is removed from one part of the body to make the body appear more muscular, or it's placed in another position to make that area look more muscular.
At what point were you like, I want to talk about this?
If I have this conviction that, you know, there's this norm out there that is unfair, why not be true to myself and let others know how I feel?
If it fits me in the shoulders, then it's not gonna fit me in the waist.
Zach Michelson is a busy father of two who works in tech. He also has a modeling hobby. You may have seen him on the cover of romance novels like $1 Billion Vow and One Hot Cowboy Wedding, or in underwear ads. He said he's found a way to take his body to the next level with less of a demand on himself.
Normally you think, oh, you're gonna have to get down to 5 or 6 or 7% body fat to, you know, to really have good abs.
Shredded.
Yeah, but it's not, you know, a comfortable place to stay.
And it's hard to maintain.
And it's hard to maintain, and it requires, you know, particular lifestyle.
What did you want to change about yourself, if anything?
I kind of got sold on this idea that we probably naturally have about the right amount of body fat if you're staying in shape. It just isn't necessarily in the places that you want it to be.
So just before his 40th birthday, Zach took a leap of faith and made an appointment with Dr. Douglas Steinbreck, who removed fat from Zach's midsection and sculpted his upper body.
There's an old-fashioned liposuction when your Aunt Susie had a little bit of fat that was removed from her tummy, but I don't throw that fat away. I put it up into their shoulders, up in their chest, up into their traps, or maybe in their glutes to make a more athletic final result.
Dr. Steinbreck says there's an added benefit to this technique. Banking fat cells into desired places directs future fat stores to those areas.
The carbs and the calories now will go through your bloodstream and find new areas. So you can have that ice cream and your shoulders get wider, you get more sexy up in your chest, and your traps pop, and it's less likely to go into those undesired areas. And it really, really works.
When pool season rolls around, you're just kind of ready to go, even though you're living life like a normal person.
It's been 5 years since Zach had his procedure. He's been candid with his social media followers about his plastic surgery.
So we can see the body bank or lipocell transfer can make those areas pop.
Did you receive any blowback?
I did not receive any criticism or trolling or any of that. I did get quite a number of people who were interested, who were considering self-improvement for themselves.
Self-improvement is normal. We all want to get better. I think it's important to, as a physician, say that it's okay to get things done that affirm how you feel.
Hello everyone, my name is Chi.
For 37-year-old Chi Tang, if he wants a nip and a tuck, nothing can get in the way. Not family and friends.
A lot of my family members were stopping me like, you don't need this, you don't need that, but you know, it's not about you, it's about me.
And not any stereotype that plastic surgery isn't for men.
Who introduced the idea of cosmetic surgery to you? As I remember growing up, the one thing I was always told, like, men don't get cosmetic surgery, and that's changed now, right?
Instagram, Facebook, you know, you see so many like beautiful people, so I'm like, wait, what can I do, you know? So I started out with my nose, and then I move on to my eyes, and then, I don't know, like every year, I continue to do a tiny bit,
Tang lives and works in New York City, where he says nothing feels like too much.
I used to see people got the abdominal edging. Used to be like them. I would never do that.
But Tang is a power lifter. He says he couldn't sculpt the perfect body in the gym, so plastic surgery felt right.
I work out 4 to 7 times a week. I try any diet from keto to now I'm full vegan. No matter how hard I try, how many crunches I do, my abs will never pop out. So I think before COVID, I saw like Instagram, and then I saw like the doctor in Houston. He specializes in abdominal edging. Well, I would say I got my look from the gym, the kitchen, and the doctor.
Tang, who owns his own salon, says he dropped over 14 grand a few years ago to have abdominal liposuction, 360 chest, bicep, tricep, and back lipo.
And what was the type of look you were hoping for?
I want a six pack, but I don't think I got a six pack. I just got a lot leaner. So overall, I'm still pretty happy with the decision that I went. But one thing, I wish I didn't let him label my chest. The minute I got out from the surgery, when I touched my chest, it's like, whoa.
It went down.
It went down, so now when I do bench press, I have to lift a lot more to create the same volume. So that's one thing I regret.
If your goal is perfection, that's not a realistic goal. And so you have to sit down and understand what can and can't be done and the possible risks that come with those procedures before you make your final decision.
Ab etching or ab sculpting is a minimally invasive procedure, but it's typically done under anesthesia. And with any medical procedure, there are risks.
The procedure itself can come with the risk of infection, and that can lead that person to needing additional procedures within a course come with more harm, which is why it's so important that when you're talking to a provider or a doctor about these procedures, you want to make sure that that doctor is a board-certified cosmetic surgeon before you begin that discussion.
Across the jawline.
Zach's experience with ab etching was so positive that he says he's now more open to other cosmetic enhancements. Today, he's getting filler with Dr. Steinbreck.
And this is the real magic, where just a little bit in that outer brow.
Your message for the world, it feels like, not only is it okay for men to care about how they look, it's okay for them to do something about it.
And you don't need to be vain, right? You don't need to be obsessed with your looks. If I can make it better, then great. Society is changing.
When we come back, JoJo smashed records 2 decades ago with her hit Leave, Get Out, then seemed to disappear from music. What she says happened and why she's back, stronger than ever. And welcome back. Singer JoJo is back, thrilling fans who wondered why the beloved pop star of the early aughts seemed to have stepped back from the limelight. Here again, Nightline's Ashin Singh.
Not gonna lie, EP this out. I feel like you've got a lot to say today.
Too much to say sometimes.
Does it feel like you're getting a lot off your chest right now?
Yeah, I'm almost like, what more is there gonna be to say after this era? But that's what's cool. I feel like I'm finally awake.
She's the voice behind Lee, Get Out, the Y2K era anthem that broke records and defined a generation. Now back on tour 20 years later as an independent artist. It's been a long road for pop music starlet JoJo. At 13 years old, she was the youngest American female solo artist with a #1 single and another smash hit, Too Little, Too Late.
I didn't even know I could be a pop star. From a young age, it was about soul and blues and folk and all different types of genres. And I think it really was just a part of my path that I wasn't planning on it necessarily, but it happened perfectly.
Now at 34 years old, still delivering fan favorites. Performing Porcelain, one of her newest songs. But the path to success wasn't always easy. A decade-long legal battle with her former label over her ability to profit off new recordings, slowing down her meteoric rise. Concerned fans noticing.
You may remember the singer JoJo being at the top of her game and then disappearing from the music industry for years.
After JoJo releases 2 successful albums, it's like everything goes downhill.
Because you've been in the public eye for as long as you have, people Google, where did JoJo go?
I know that a lot of people thought I fell off the face of the earth after my second album. And that was a pain point for me for a long time because it felt like I was just hitting my head against the wall constantly because I wasn't able to make a living from music.
Born Joanna Levesque. At 8 years old, competing on the talent competition series Destination Stardom, belting Aretha Franklin's Respect. Signing a 7-album deal with Blackground Records. Her debut self-titled record, JoJo, certified platinum within a few months. And adding actress to her resume in 2006, starring alongside Emma Roberts in Aquamarine.
You need to give her a t-shirt. No. My bathing suit's like boy repellent.
But the record deal that launched her career becoming her greatest adversary. In 2013, JoJo filing a lawsuit against her label, Blackground Records, claiming she signed her record deal as a minor and should have been released after 7 years. The label denying all allegations.
What happened there? Like, for people who aren't familiar.
It was basically that I was tied into what was going on with my record label at the time. And unfortunately, they lost distribution. And because I didn't legally own my voice, contractually, the record label did.
How could you navigate that?
I did the best I could, but I didn't have like a therapist at the time. And I looked to the ways that I saw people closest to me coping. I definitely turned to drugs and alcohol, mostly alcohol. All I wanted to do since I was a little girl was work. So I was like, who am I if I'm not able to do that? I guess I need to just go get drunk.
Any part of you think about quitting?
Yeah, I mean, but then what? Yeah. I have nothing to fall back on. I did not, you know, I felt like I had started this career and things were moving and I was providing for my mom and I. Stop and then do what?
The lawsuit settled out of court in 2014. JoJo was finally released from the contract. In 2018, JoJo launching her own independent label, Clover Music, finally able to own and release new recordings of her greatest hits.
Even though it was going back to my old catalog, I was able to have a new relationship with those songs too. You know, I'm able to sing these songs with the seasoning that life has put on me. Things started to change after that for the better.
Yay! I love you, JoJo! Ooh. 1, 2, 3, New York!
21 years in the game, and you still get nervous when you go on stage?
Yeah, but I try to reframe it as nerves and excitement are the same thing, and that makes it less nerve-wracking.
It all goes away.
It eventually all goes away.
Nobody, a track introducing the new, independent JoJo with too much to say.
What songs have surprised you in the way the crowds received them?
Start Over gets a really great reception from the crowd typically.
Coming up with this tour, like it all felt so like a reintroduction, but more so for you.
No, but I agree. It does feel like a reintroduction, I guess. And that's what NGL is about, accepting all the different sides of yourself.
Until next time, take care of yourself, take care of each other. I love you, Evan!
Our thanks to Ashin. And when we come back, Savannah Chrisley of Chrisley Knows Best sharing big news on Instagram about her parents. And finally tonight, the Chrisleys set to walk free. An elated Savannah Chrisley posting a big announcement on Instagram.
The president called me personally as I was walking into Sam's Club and notified me that he was signing pardon paperwork for both of my parents.
Her parents, reality stars Todd and Julie Chrisley of Chrisley Knows Best fame, both behind bars for tax evasion and bank fraud. Their daughter late today hearing the news.
And just congratulate your parents. And I hear they're terrific people. This should not have happened. And you just take care.
I spoke with Savannah tonight.
So you're on a plane to go pick up your parents?
Yes, to pick up my dad.
Have you talked to your parents?
Yes.
And what was their reaction?
Oh, they're in tears. They're just ecstatic.
And that's Nightline. You can watch all of our full episodes on Hulu. We'll see you right back here, same time tomorrow. Thanks for staying up with us. Good night, America.